Hello and welcome everybody, this is your host Learbach, and here's in time for the final episode of Kingdom Hearts 2. This is it, this is the big one. It's us versus Xemnas. Once we walk through those doors, we're at the end game. So for those of you playing along, you might want to pause the video and go ahead and do some other stuff that we haven't done yet. You know, replay those mini games and do the tournament and stuff. But yeah. So, guess there's not really much we can really say except let's go into the, actually, I want to do some, nope. Yeah, I think we'll be okay with what we have. So let's open this door. Beyond this door is the beginning of the end of your journey. Oh boy, that's got some new meaning to it. Let's end this. Get ready for mostly story and a really, really long boss fight. I mean, most people are used to having bosses that have like 2 forms. This boss has, I think it's like one of the first bosses to actually have 3 forms. At least one of the first bosses in a major game like this.
Get ready, Xemnas. It all ends here.
Like most of them only had like 2 forms at most, and like, you know, the first form was like, you know, it's just kind of a joke form, or maybe the second form was. Lord knows, at the end of 10, the boss of that one was a joke at the end.
So, it seems your heart led you to obliteration.
Technically, you could say that was 3 forms too, though. I mean,
I will have to be
can't even count it as forms though, because I guess we're gonna count Jekt. You might as well count each individual summon as a form as well. In which that case, that's kind of, you know, the moot point as well. It's like that is the boss fight. But here we are, the first boss fight, the first phase of this boss fight. Basically, this is all we're gonna be doing for the first little bit. It's not gonna be very long. In fact, it's not long at all. I forgot how short that part was. I could have sworn we went through that at least one other time. So yeah, you're at the second phase, and keep in mind, this is just the first form of the boss. So, yeah, just slice those up, nope, there you go, and you just combo it. Combo again, and I swear that's gotta be the same animation. Yeah, that's the same exact animation we just saw. It is just weird seeing that. With the game that's been so polished as it was, that's just weird to see them reuse animation like that. But here we are, the actual boss fight. Basically, these ticking time bombs, whatever they're called, I'm not even sure they actually have a name. We just kind of shoot them into the core. You may notice there's a right core, a left cylinder, and a right cylinder. Basically, you know, you might see what we're doing here. And since we don't have enough time to finish the right cylinder off, we gotta let it charge, it bursts out, and we start on the left cylinder. So you can kind of guess how this goes. So yeah, for a start off fight here, like we're not actually fighting the boss. We're kind of like working our way to the boss in a way. It's... Oh, crap. I meant to go into final form. I meant to do final form so I could just kind of... I guess it could revert. Would it even be worth it at this point? Oh, no, not really. So yeah, you can't hit. It doesn't seem like you can hit all of them. Oh, and we destroyed it, so that means we get to get off, and it gone. So there's that core, that cylinder. You just have to finish the left cylinder off. Now I kind of regret desyncing from Valor form. Actually, that was worth it right there, just to see that happen. Just see them, see all those nobodies just pop off. So you are entering the second phase of the fight. Which I believe this one might... Yep. So we just kind of wail on this. And you defeat nearby enemies to unlock the barrier. I would say this is a good area of the final form, but the problem is, again, this is the end of the game. At this point, there is no save states. There's no point in saving the game. There's no way to save the game, so there's no point in leveling the game. This game doesn't have New Game Plus, despite the fact they could have easily put it in. Though, ooh. But yeah, that's just me being, you know, a little... They do let you do everything. New Game Plus probably just break the game. And technically the game's already semi-broken to begin with. What's attacking up there? That's its wings? One interesting thing I want to note about this boss fight. The original idea was to have you fight an entire city instead of just this castle-looking thing. As you can clearly tell, this looks kind of like the castle that never was, even though it's very clearly isn't. Because, you know, we're in Kingdom Hearts. But the original idea was to fight a giant city, like this whole fight being in the city. Like the monster having like a city on top of it. And the concept art for it looks really cool. I might also add that the name for the concept art is called King. And of course, oh, we gotta proceed. Okay. There's a reason why it's called that. And we'll find out during this fight. Not sure if we're gonna find out during this. Yeah, I think right now we're about to find out. Right here we have Xemnas in his true form, I guess you could call it. This would be the second nobody we've seen with a true form if you've been following the games chronologically. The first being Marluxia. And so yeah, so this is what I was talking about. The character being called King. This form is simply known as King. I'm not even sure. I'm not 100% certain if it's called King Xemnas or if it's just King. And you can kind of clearly tell. Oh, well, you know, it's got a crown on his head. And, you know, the whole deal with Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. The concept art you see for the original boss fight. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why they didn't use it. I guess they just couldn't figure out a way to make it work properly. But if I had to guess, it probably had to do with just, you know, there's a very high concept boss, and they just couldn't execute it right. But like I said, the code name for it is King, which is what this form is. So you can kind of clearly see they had this idea down from the very beginning. And there we have it. We beat Xemnas. It only took us about 10 minutes. Oh, that's it must be a record considering this is like known for being like an hour long.
More room. I need more hearts.
Now, for those of you who've been keeping up with the video, you know exactly what I said earlier about this not being the end.
All kinds of feelings. Don't you remember?
Unfortunately, I don't.
And he just vanished again, I think. 3.
Oh gosh, you all did great.
No, we didn't see him break apart like, all the others have. Like, they were kind of breaking apart, like bits of darkness falling
Coming back
off.
with us, right?
I had given in to the darkness.
Riku,
How am I gonna face everyone?
like this.
Don't ever do that again, Sora. Don't ever do that again. That was messed up.
Hurry!
I'll open a path.
You don't belong in the Dark Realm anymore, Riku.
That means his heart is pure, right? uh, we have Name once again. Hey, she opened a portal for us.
Well, I'm not sure. But
So I'm guessing only Sora and Kairi could see her.
Wait for me!
That'd be the only reason why she'd be like why that'd be there.
Thank you, Nominee. Sure. See? We meet again, like we promised.
Huh? You said we'd meet again. But when we did, we might not recognize each other.
So this is.
Didn't I?
So does this mean that the nobodies don't truly
I think
die?
I see myself the way you remember me.
I mean, I know Sora and Roxas are technically special cases, because of stuff that happened in Birth by Sleep.
Back into darkness.
But Nominee is.
But you and I didn't.
I guess Nominee is also an exception, but not in the same
We can
way.
be together again.
Right. Anytime Sora and Kairi are together.
We'll be together every day. Right, Sora?
Yeah.
Starting in about. So when did this game came out? 2007. How many years have it been? 8 years. 8 years from now, they'll be together every day. Because during the time in between, Sora's gonna be doing some sort of training or whatever. Yeah. I guess doing training.
Don't worry. You're
I don't
all
know.
still you.
Hey, let's go home.
Riku, come on.
Yeah.
And it just occurred to me, like, the whole thing with Nominee and Rox, couldn't they resolve this outside
Riku!
of... Because, like, you knew exactly what was going to happen there. The minute they were sitting there prolonging the inevitable. So, yeah. Turns out we're not done with Xemnas yet. Or at least, presumably, we're not done with Xemnas. Here we have our second boss fight. So this is actually technically, I guess you could say, a second boss instead of a second form, but it is still kind of the same boss. You know, it's the same dragon head and it's still Xemnas. I don't think I'd be spoiling anything by saying it's Xemnas. It's clearly going to be Xemnas. It just now doesn't have the tower that he was on before. Much like this last fight, there's kind of two phases to it too. And also the coolest freaking music ever.
Sora!
So yeah. Here are the first phase of the final fight. We have a kind of a run and gun. We can use lasers, attack, drain, which is just basically a shield move, Whenever enemies attack you, you can just kind of just use Drain to actually gather up energy, which I would recommend highly doing. Can't do that with missiles though. Kind of forgot you couldn't do that until just now. You have to gather energy pretty quickly. And you can use Mega Laser to deal a crap load of damage. No, I do not know why it splits into 2 shots like that. You might just want to spam square the entire time and just hit circle whenever you need. I'm not even sure if it's worth using sword as a sword's attack. Just also, this is actually kind of a cool boss fight. I mean, actually, you do need to use sword as an attack to get rid of the timers. Oh, it's both sword and Riku. There we go. Okay, crap. And these do quite a bit of damage, actually. Wow. I forgot how much damage the ticking time bombs did. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we saved ourselves a Mega Laser for another part of the beast. And wait, I just realized, are we upside? No, we're not upside down. Wow, the world is like. Wow, there's a city above and a city below. It seems. Oh crap! Oh no, okay, I started right. I thought I misfire there. It would have been like I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere that could be some sort of off-color or blue comedy joke in there. Excuse me. Sorry, I keep yawning. That's not realized you can kind of see him piloting the head. I will say one of the things that always fascinated me with a boss fight like this, like you're fighting essentially what was a building. I guess you're not now, so you just attach yourself to the tip of the tower. But you were fighting, like, this is a construct that took the form, not even took a form of a building, but was a building at one point. And I would have really loved to see the concept for that city boss. Again, I'm disappointed that they couldn't have gotten to work, and I'm kind of hoping they get something like that to work in Kingdom Hearts 3. Not like they couldn't, I mean, they brought the concept of bringing things to life. Well, the minute they introduced magic, technically. I mean, you have Merlin the Wizard, who is well known for doing stuff like that. There we go. I believe the wings don't take like any time at all to defeat. Like this is pretty normal even for like normal difficulty. The big thing is just like dodging the attacks. And they're not, as you may know, it's not that hard to dodge. I'm just like not paying attention. But kind of the nature of a let's play. I'm gonna try to see if I can end this on a Mega Laser. Cause yeah, these things take off like half a bar of health. Or almost like a third of a bar. Yeah, wow. I'm really surprised at how I'm gonna go ahead and just fire this off, and I think that'll finish it. Ah! Oh, it did finish it off. Yes! And we're done with this boss fight. Whew! So that's 2 bosses down. You ready for the 3rd? And I made a mistake earlier this episode. I said there were 3 bosses. There are actually 4. Technically 4, because this is all one boss fight here, and I guess you could count this and the next boss as one fight. I mean, in all fairness, the music does change to signify a different battle, different phase of the battle. Which, by the way, I want to make something really clear. This is like one of the best songs in the game. I love this boss theme. And for those of you who are curious for checking it out for yourself, it's called Darkness Into the Unknown. There's like tons of remixes of it. I'm fairly certain I might have used one of my Gummy Ship episodes. But yeah, so we have a rematch with King. Only this time it's just Sora and Riku. I will say his true form is really cool. Xemnas' true form is really cool. It's a bit lazy. And I don't mean that the design is lazy. The design is not lazy, but notice this guy does not stand up one bit. But he does have a lot of upgraded moves at this point. He has a few upgraded moves, like his sword. Look at this. Whoa. I went a little too high there. I wasn't actually damaging him. But yeah, so he has a shield move. And unfortunately, we can't go into drive form right now. So yeah. However, we do have unlimited jump, which is really weird to see when you spam it. And I believe if we hold square, we have glide, which is something that we normally only have with final form. And we can unlock the leveling final form, but we don't have it here. Now, you may notice there's a shield. And we need to actually come over to one of these still buildings to do a riding shot to knock the shield out. And we can actually need to do that a couple times actually, just to confuse the heck out of this guy. Ah! Jump, no! This is one thing that's really kind of has been bugging me in games lately, particularly in Smash Brothers. I've noticed it. You can get spammed the crap out of with certain attacks. Like you can't, like they need to have like some like attack breaker thing you can do. Like you can pop up your shield and it like knocks them back or something. Like after, like maybe for like weaker attacks or something. Like I've seen like, but no, I guess just kind of goes to the idea of like, oh well, it's gonna be like it's gonna be like, oh, it's a temporary attack, it's not gonna last forever. And like the rapid attacks, like say from like characters like Kirby, who you can just hold the button down, just like do the attack, or Meta Knights with his sword, just hold down A, just holds it up and just attacks forever. Like those moves are relatively pathetic. And you can easily break out of them by doing smashing them or something. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get session out again. You're gonna see me do this a lot in this. Probably the one problem is when you get too high for the attack. It's really easy to get too high with this attack and like actually attack above him where you can't actually hurt him. And you notice it kind of, you notice the effects with my and we'll do another session after this one's done. And oh no. Oh, this is... Oh no, we've... Look at that. Oh my gosh. We hit a limit. That was mean. That was mean. He was waiting for it to finish. We hit a set. So this part here is a required fight. But yeah, like I said, this is a very fun boss fight, and I really enjoy it. That said, I will say there's a bit of a disappointing thing with it. This has nothing to do with the game. It's my main disappointment with this is like my best friend who I've talked about before on a couple of episodes. He and I got Kingdom Hearts 2 at the same time. We were playing through it. And I was like already, like I said, I beat this game in like 24 hours. Like, what? There we go. I beat this game in just exactly 24 hours, over the course of 2 days. And he came over to see me and we hung out for this final boss fight. And he was like, he didn't want any of this fight apparently. I said the Elixir before I need it. Like he apparently did, because the 15,000 boss forms that we joked about, the hundreds of boss forms and all this stuff. And we joked about the opening too, like the opening being like, you guys remember, you guys look back and you can see like we had like 6 episodes, about 30 minutes each, so we had about 3 hours, 3 hours in the like 2 hour minimum, I think. Maybe an hour and a half if you cut down the... Maybe about an hour if you cut out the cutscenes. Right there, we finished off Xemnas. For once and for all, right? Right? I mean, we fought him twice, we've beaten the dragon twice. I mean, you know, I guess technically we destroyed the cores the first time and didn't actually fight him, but oh my goodness, what's this? This looks very different. They never explain where this is we are right now. I think it's supposed to be the deconstructed Kingdom Hearts. Like this is what happened to Kingdom Hearts because it's all unstable.
Then surely we nothings must be the same. Eternal.
I really like this beat, like this whole scene here.
Light and darkness are eternal. Nothing probably goes on forever too.
And then it's ruined.
Guess what, Xemnas?
That doesn't mean you're eternal.
Oh, maybe it's not. I don't know. I just remember not liking the one-liner. No, maybe I just didn't remember. That whole scene kind of works out. I kind of like it. And again, the final chime of this song. Ooh, right away, it's not good. Ooh. So we're gonna be... Basically, this is a very... Again, this whole boss fight is very fun. Michael, if you're watching this, you don't know what you're missing out by not finishing this fight. I mean, I know he saw me fight this the whole time, but I mean... I know he's watching pretty much beat this fight, but I mean, wouldn't you want to... There we go. Also, I like that you have the one move that's called 13 Blades. it's actually called 13 Blades, which is kind of like a very interesting idea. Kind of like tossing out, you know, the idea of the Organization 13. Kind of an insult to them, I guess you could say. Or it could just be, you know, Square Enix having a strange obsession with the number 13. Because, I don't know what 13. I don't know if 13 has any significance in Japan, but I know the number 4 is basically their version of our unlucky 13. Like 4 means death. Like 4 and death, I think, sound the same, or they're spelt the same, or they're spelled very similar. Which I think also means they might sound the same. So like a lot of Japanese hotels apparently won't even include a 4th floor. But as for like the actual number 13, I don't know. As for my thoughts on it, like the whole idea of that's my thoughts though. It's a number. It's like how you know the Christian number 666 being the mark of the beast. Well, first of all, it's a freaking number. You shouldn't be afraid of a number. And in all honesty, by that, if you're going by that definition, that means the number 777, which you see in every single jackpot or every single slot machine ever, would mean that every casino in the world is a holy sanctuary, because 777 means God or heaven or something like that. It's a holy number. So here we get a pretty fun part where we actually get to play as Riku. There's not a whole lot we can... Oh, jeez. Not a whole lot we can do that... Except just kind of attack his shadow form with Dark Aura. Which kind of actually makes me wonder how he's using Dark Aura if he's not able to use Darkness anymore. I guess maybe it's not actually a dark move. But, ooh, actually that helps us. We need to travel close up to Sora. And then... Oh, come on. Get away from us. Get away from us, Shadow Form Jutsu, whatever it's called. There, okay, there we go. I've never had that much trouble at the end. Usually it's at the beginning.
Is that all you got? That's it.
So here we are in the final, pretty much the final phase of this battle. I'm gonna use this. Oh crap! Ooh. Ooh. And we're gonna get back to the... Oh no, we're at the final phase. Here we go. This one's actually kind of fun. Both parties reflect. What was it called? I believe Dragon Ball Z had a move like this. Piccolo used it. I think it's called Scatter Shot. They can send a bunch of shots out, and they all hone in on the enemy, on the target. All at once out, though, not like this. Which kind of shows you the flaw of just... Well, no, it looks like they're kind of replenishing, so maybe it's not all at once. Maybe it's just what they could do. Did I accidentally... Like, I switched positions and I accidentally hit the D-pad, like... Ooh. Oh! That is not good on your back. Ooh. Oh! I would love to be able to be in this fight, but I don't know how they would have programmed it in. Like, I don't even know how you'd be able to program something like that in now without using annoying QuickTime events. Which, I mean, in this case, I guess could work. I mean, QuickTime events do work in certain situations, and during a fight scene, yeah. This is not during a random cutscene. This is not during a cutscene that I want to see it. Like probably the worst example I've seen was in Resident Evil 4. Things like Leon's talking to Kruger, I think the guy's name is. He's like one of the minions or something. He's like like one of his former friends. And he pulls out a knife, tosses it, and if you don't push that button at the time you see that, it's like you gotta redo the whole cutscene. It's like, that's annoying, but I can understand like during a boss fight. In fact, a lot of QuickTime events recently have done stuff like cutscene, like only during a fight. Only at times where, like, it would make sense, and it's worked. But I guess this is before that, before the time of QTEs.
I can't. Don't say another word. It's not over. It's just not.
Yeah. So we're finally done. Xemnas is done and dusted.
Even if we could go on.
Once and for all, he's gone.
Aw, come on, Riku. You've been hanging out in darkness too long. You gotta try and think positive. Sora? You lead. Got it.
So again, I'm not sure. I think it's supposed to be implied that where we're at is Kingdom Hearts, like, just collapsed upon itself. Because like Xemnas said, it was unstable because of Ansem's meddling with it.
Riku, look.
But
what's that light?
I don't know. Again, it's like just that. He could have explained it, and this is. I guess there's gotta be a way out of Kingdom Hearts, regardless. Of course, Under the Dark Shores, I'm not so sure about.
Yep.
I believe that's actually what this place is called. It's called the Dark Shores.
I can walk.
A lot of very important conversations apparently happen in this. You have at the beginning of this game, I believe. I'm trying to remember if it was the beginning of this. Yeah, you have the two cloaked figures talking.
Maybe the darkness has gotten to me too.
Which you are. I think you're supposed to presume more than at least one of them's an organization member. I think one of them. I think it's implied that one of them's Roxas.
This world is perfect.
I could be wrong on that. I could be remembering it wrong.
The world really is just this. Then maybe I should fade back into darkness. Riku.
It's not that bad. I mean,
if the world is made of light and darkness, we'll be the darkness.
I like that line too. It's not some of the thing like.
The other side. The realm of light is safe now. Kyrie, the king, and the others are there.
That's what I mean. Hey, Sora. Could you help me? I want to get down to the water.
I guess Riku did get beat up pretty badly during that fight. That had to have been rough on him. And pulling him up by the belt. That actually makes a lot of sense.
At least the waves sound the same.
Yeah, the whole line, like, we'll be the darkness. Like, that actually does kind of, we'll fight in the dark to save the light. It's not supposed to be it's not supposed to be a negative thing.
Thinking I was better at stuff than you?
This is something I think they've started hinting on.
To tell you the truth.
In later games.
I was jealous of you.
That, like, light and darkness is not good and evil.
I wished I could live
light and darkness are just elements. It's the man behind the element that determines whether or not. Yeah, it's the man behind it. It's like there's no such thing as good and evil.
Like wanting to be like you.
It's just the person behind the action.
There is one advantage to being
like no one sane person ever thinks that they're evil. They always think they're the good guy. You only see evil for the sake of evil.
Then I guess
in comics.
I'm okay
Or in comics.
I've got something you could never imagine.
In media. Comics, movies, television, you get the idea. Books. And even that's starting to change because we don't want to see a plain ordinary evil for the sake of being evil bad guy. Unless it's the Joker. Apparently, everyone and I'm with them on this one. There's always room for the Joker, but only the Joker. I'm sure there's another character like him. I guess Kefka from 6, but I've never played Final Fantasy 6. You gotta write that insane character well to do that, though. Like the Joker, for the most part, has been handled pretty well. Again, you have the character of Kefka from Final Fantasy 6.
I think it's for you.
Like you can look at it this way: Xemnas wasn't evil. He was he was trying to become whole again. He was trying to find Kingdom Hearts. He did it in the worst way possible. Yeah, but he's not, crazy evil for the sake of being evil. There's actually some backing for him. For something that's actually pretty interesting on seeing a villain's true intentions, look up MC Prophet's analysis of the Wind Waker. I think it's just called Wind Waker. I can't remember. There's two parts. He does this 2-part thing. Like the first one's like I think it's like breaking out or something like that. Not breaking out. Not growing up. That's Ocarina of Time. He talks about that one. Oh crap! I can't remember what the first one was. The second one was about about characters like how Ganondorf was like this character stuck in the past and refusing to move on. That's what it was. The second part was called Moving On. It's like the Wind Waker Part 2, Moving On, or something like that. And he talks about like how Ganondorf has become humanized, albeit slightly, in the recent years because of Wind Waker, and because we see him sit there and talk about how envious he was of the light. We have this like he's jealous. Oh. So here our final cutscene of the game. Actually, we've been on the final cutscene of the game for a while now, haven't we? I really like this scene. Like, and until at this point, we really did feel this was the end of the game. I feel like if they had ended it here, this is the proper closure for the game. Like the first Kingdom Hearts, you knew there was going to be a sequel because he had to find Kairi. He had to meet back up with Kairi. But this one, he got his friends back. His friends and family, they're all safe. His world has been restored. The world is safe. What more could you do with this? Stretch it out over 3 subpar games, or at least 2 of them being subpar side games. Then there's Dream Drop Distance. I'm not sure if that's good or not. And then end it off with a bang in Kingdom Hearts 3, and hopefully it'll be with a bang. But oh boy, the story, because I'm gonna go ahead and say this again. I've said this many times before throughout the Let's Play. Don't bother with Kingdom Hearts 365 over 2 days. It's not worth playing. There's like nothing in that game that's worth playing at all. It's just telling you, pretty much nothing new. And it introduces a character that does absolutely nothing into the game at all. Because at the end of it, everyone forgets about her. Which, don't get me started on that. My least favorite cliche there, it's all just a dream. Which, that might as well be the same thing. The only time they ever did that right was, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, is in an episode of Family Guy. For those of you that don't know what episode I'm talking about, it's the one where Stewie finally kills Lois and he becomes the president of the world, of the United States or something like that. Yeah, it all turned out to be actually not a dream, but a simulation. Wasn't that kind of the same thing as a dream? No, it's a simulation. I don't know. Either way, I think you're gonna piss a lot of people off. Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying. If someone were watching and they were see this in this way, they'd be really ticked. You'd just be pissing a lot of people off. Oh no, they think they just enjoy the ride. If they're really fans of the show, they just enjoy the ride. I don't know, man. I just think you're gonna piss a lot of fans off. But at least it didn't like this Predator cuts his black in mid-sentence. And there's my interpretation of that really butchered. It's been a while since I saw that, but again, that's the only time they ever did it right. That's because they acknowledged it. No, that's kind of, yeah. But yeah, the days, it ticks me off even more because they did the same thing in Bleach. Like they did the Bleach movie, and they did the same exact thing in Bleach, and it really ticked me off then too. Like it was before I played Days, and so it's like I was, oh my gosh! So when they did the movie, the Bleach movie, and they did that like I don't even remember what the name of the movie was, but like the main the special character in the movie was like this special spirit girl who like everyone would forget about at the end when she died or something like that. And it's like I was frothing angry at that point. Like I was like, I'm glad I saw it on TV and didn't see it when it was in limited theater release because it was in a theater near me that I could have gone and seen it, and I was like, I kind of wanted to see it. I didn't say anything though, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't say anything because when I saw it, I was pissed. Like I don't even remember what the rest of the movie was about. I just know that ending, and it just, ugh. I hated that. I still hate that movie to this day. Because basically made the entire thing completely and absolutely pointless, and even more so than just, at least if someone went through something, they'd have learned something. But no one would remember anything. And then with Days, like it's presumably I guess the same thing with Days because they don't remember. Shion, and therefore, like, why he was doing any of this stuff, or... I guess you could argue he remembers the events, but doesn't remember Shion? How do you say her name? I can never pronounce it right. I wanted to pronounce it Zion, because it's spelled the same way except with an X instead of a Z. But that ending pissed me off. Apparently they make like some sort of like offhand remark about her, or reference to her at some point in a Dream Drop Distance. But I've seen the cutscene, and it's like you just show her, and then it's like that's it. And she gets like a little blurb in the biography. So it's like Sora acknowledges I saw someone, and like, oh yeah, don't worry about that. Never mentioned again. Like, so you introduced her into this game just as a way to justify to keep people like me from getting angry. Well, guess what? It didn't work. I'm still ticked off. I'm still ticked off they put in a useless character like to such a degree that it's so useless that no one remembers her. That might be my only reason for saying Days is bad. There's at least one good thing. They do the grid system. The whole grid system was an interesting idea. Though it needs a little bit of work on it. It's a nice concept and a nice idea. I know it's not going to be in any future Kingdom Hearts games because that'd be stupid to do that. But for like a little side game like that, as a proof of concept sort of thing, it worked. The levels, for the most part, are designed the same way as they are in Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't think you go into any new worlds. In fact, I think you go into less worlds than you do in Kingdom Hearts 2. You don't go into Pride Rock. You go into all the same worlds, and I think you go into some of the ones from Kingdom Hearts 1. You go into like Alice in Wonderland's world, Wonderland, I guess it'd be called. I don't think you go into Mulan's world. Like a lot of the worlds you go into were worlds that were in that Sora had been to before in the first game. I think, yeah, in Twilight Town, and that's it. And the missions are really short. I mean, it's it's a DS game. I understand. You know, it's a mobile game. You don't want to be on one world for too long. Cause, you know, it's designed to be short. And this means that we're not going to be seeing Beast in Kingdom Hearts 3. In case he turned into a human. That's what. Yeah, the change subs are going to quit on a dime like that. If you guys have been following me for this long, you know I do this on a daily basis. And Orin finally found peace, which means we may not see him ever again. Just kind of a little sad. One thing I want to mention while going through the music. I'm actually quite surprised. Did not get content ID flagged for any of the songs in Little Mermaid World in Atlantica. I am quite surprised I didn't get flagged for any of those. In fact, I don't think I've gotten flagged for a single thing in Kingdom Hearts. I was really concerned about this song and the opening song because I've been told stories like people getting flagged for that. But I'm kind of Christopher Lee. That's it. That's the guy I couldn't remember. That's Sauron. Oh crap! Jim Cummings right there. I'm looking at the name now. See if I see that Cheech Marin. Wait, who did he play as? If I'm not mistaken, that's the same Cheech from Cheech and Chong, right? Who did he voice in this? It didn't. Did I miss one above that had his name or something? Like the only character I think that he could voice really in any Final Fantasy, any kind of like Disney or Square game. Oh wait, no, hold on. Ed, I think the hyena. Ed, not Ed. The other guy, the other one that's not played Wolf Goldberg. Ed, let's see, there's Ed, Shinji. The other one, I can't remember his name. That one's what I think that's Cheech Marin. And there we have Simba's daughter, which means we might get to see her in the next game. Or are they going to retcon that and make it his son because they had that the Lion's Pride thing coming out? I don't know. Maybe they had a. I don't know. I guess they could have both the daughter and a son. There's the goal. Oh, that's gonna be made into about 1,000 fan fictions. I'm referring to the scenes that we were seeing on here when I say stuff like that. Anyway, getting back into seriousness here. Crap, who was? What was the name of the other hyena of the There's Ed, who is the laughing one. Shinji, who is Whoopi Goldberg. Which I'm not sure if that was Whoopi Goldberg in this one or not. And there's Cheech Marin's character. Bonsai, that's it. Bonsai. Wow, that took a while to remember. Aww. So, and it seems like my emulator's slowing up a little bit. Choking up a little bit. There's a giant door that was from the first game. The one thing is it's slowing up, but I'm looking at the counter, and it's actually raising when it slows down. It goes up to like 70 when it goes. When it does. Nope. Nope. Never mind. Right there, it just dropped down to 40 for a split second. Yeah, Buena Vista Games, which I guess is the developing company, because Square Enix is the publishing company. I guess it would be Buena Vista, because isn't that owned by Disney? So yeah, this has gone on for almost an hour. Oh. And we're not done yet, we have one last cutscene. And for those of you who are curious, if you beat this on normal mode and get 100%, or you just beat this on proud mode, you do get a hidden ending. I believe in the final mix version and the Japanese version, you get the full version of that ending, which is basically just the final battle from Birth by Sleep, just rendered in a bajillion times better because Birth by Sleep. Oh my god! Oh my god! Birth by Sleep does the battle in engine, and you can see a clear difference. Like there's one point where one of the characters, like, he gets grabbed by the big bad, and like his helmet gets crushed, and you see like half his face through the helmet. He gets frozen like some sort of like dark ice. Gets tossed off, like his keyblade gets shattered at the end. It does not look nearly as good on Birth by Sleep. Like, they don't show anything. They show him get caught, like, frozen. His helmet doesn't break or anything. It just does not look nearly as good. Like, you know, they're working with limits in the game system, but just fudge it and use pre-rendered cutscenes. At that point, man. I guess because technically you still had a battle afterwards, but I still gotta trudge through that game. I've only beaten the one story of it, and there's like 2 other stories to beat, and it's like, ugh, I just can't. It's just boring. The entire thing is just, ugh. I mean, this is not as bad as Days, but I mean, Days only had like 1 story to deal with. But here we are at the end. And oh boy, what a ride it was. What else can I say? Not much, really. Here we have our battle report. It tells us our game level, beginner mode, used anti-form, most used form is Valor. Saved by Mickey 0 times. I mentioned that before. Certain battles in the game, if you died, like during the second half of the game, you'd actually fight as Mickey, and you'd fight with if you last long enough with him, you'd come back and play as Sora. Only healed 10 times by part of him? No, that's not true. Donald alone healed us like 15 times, I swear. They completed 30% of the gummy missions. And complete Jimmy's journal 86%. Oh wow. Most used summon Chicken Little 0 times. We didn't use any. I was actually curious as to what they'll show with that. But yeah, so this is the end of the Let's Play. Actually, there's one more thing I want to show off. That's gonna be a bonus episode. But I think I'm gonna say that. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna say that for a bonus episode. Until then, however, I will be seeing you guys next Let's Play.